I used to watch them all the time. Indiana State, Iowa, Caitlin Clark. Honestly, it was like watching something historic unfold right before your eyes. Magic Johnson practically begged Caitlin to reach out to Larry Bird for guidance. He said Bird could show her how to navigate this situation because he'd lived it. The criticism, the ignorance from officials, the sheer cluelessness from league executives, it's all happening again. But this time it's worse because the WNBA isn't just failing any player, they're failing the player. And Larry? He might have just done the one thing the entire league refuses to do: offer Caitlin Clark her own team. Yeah, not a tweet, not a pep talk, not a lukewarm shout-out. A team. It might not be formal, but connect the dots: his scorching statements, his defense of Clark, and the league's complete collapse in protecting its brightest star, and it becomes real clear, real fast. Magic said, talk to Larry. Larry, being Indiana's own, is already watching, analyzing. Because what's happening to Caitlin isn't just rough play, it's disrespect. The league has let cheap shots become routine. There's no accountability, no deterrent. When Marina Mabrey blindsided Clark, who was already dealing with an eye poke, it wasn't basketball. It was cowardice. Mabrey, a name barely relevant before Clark entered the league, suddenly found herself in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. And instead of being punished, she practically got a pat on the back. That's when Larry Bird had enough. The man who took hits from the bad boy Pistons without flinching, now watching a generational player get bulldozed while league officials refresh their phones, hoping the outrage dies down. Bird's not begging for reform. He's ready to build something entirely new. Not just a team, but a haven where Clark can actually play the game without ducking elbows in warm-ups. Fans are saying it. Commentators are saying it. Even opposing players are starting to ask, what are we doing here? Ratings tank when she's not playing. Ratings soar when she is. She's box office. And the league, instead of protecting her, is throwing her into a gladiator pit. Sophie Cunningham had the right idea. When you take a cheap shot at us, we respond. Not with words, but with presence. Strength. No more feather taps. It's crowbar time. That's the tone Larry's on. And maybe, just maybe, that's why Hollywood buzzing is buzzing louder than ever, because the conversation has shifted. We're not just watching sports. We're watching a system get exposed. While the WNBA hesitates, Bird is out here thinking 3 moves ahead. Charter jets, blueprints, locker room culture. He's done more for Caitlin in one public statement than her own league has in a season. While officials analyze social media engagement, Bird's breaking down tape, considering team logistics, wondering if it's time to build something that makes actual sense. Because what's happening now is unsustainable. The blindside hits, the eye pokes, the blatant fouls. None of it gets addressed. And yet Clark shows up, keeps her head down, keeps balling. That's resilience. That's generational toughness. That's what Bird sees. You can't teach that. She's not whining about podcast rankings or endorsement tiers. She's leading the league in class, stats, and eyeballs. And Bird's watching like a proud, slightly furious mentor, thinking, if this is what she's doing now, imagine when she's finally protected. What makes all this worse is the league's silence. Marina shoves Caitlin while she's half blind, and the WNBA's response? Crickets. Not a press conference. Not a fine. Not even a meme. Just vibes. You could body slam Clark at the rim and probably get a loyalty bonus. Bird, who once played through pain that would sideline most for months, doesn't process that kind of apathy. It's not in his DNA. Watching executives do nothing while a 22-year-old gets bullied on national television, that's unforgivable. And he's saying so loudly. He's not here for staged toughness or fake drama. He's about real basketball, skill, respect. What's worse, he knows the message this sends to young athletes. If you're great, expect to get punished. Not with double teams, but with cheap shots. No wonder he's ready to flip the table and start over. Caitlin Clark, in his eyes, isn't just a rookie. She's the blueprint. She's the reason kids, start watching again. She's the hope for the game's future. And instead of celebrating her, the league seems to be tolerating her. That's basketball malpractice. Bird knows what it's like to get tested by veterans, but at least they did it up front. These days, it's elbows from behind and dirty plays after the whistle. And through it all, Clark stands tall. Game after game. Hit after hit. Never breaks. Never complains. Just plays. She's not just surviving the league's neglect. She's shining through it. She's playing at an elite level while essentially dodging landmines. That's unheard of. And it's exactly why Bird sees something more than talent in her. He sees transformation. He sees someone capable of dragging the entire league into a new era if they just get out of her way. What's wild is how this goes beyond just basketball. It's a cultural moment. The way Clark handles herself, the way Bird steps up, it's a blueprint for how sports figures can challenge systems and inspire change. Larry's not just talking about a team. He's talking about an ecosystem, a place where players like Clark don't have to survive the noise. They thrive above it. This isn't just about a player or a league. It's about respect, legacy, and a new chapter in sports history. So when Bird speaks up, it's not some nostalgic rant. It's a warning, a dare. Fix this before someone else does. Because if the WNBA keeps letting this happen, someone will build something better. Bird's not saying maybe. He's saying when. And the truth is, Clark isn't just fighting for herself. She's redefining the sport. She's not just playing the game. She's altering the expectations of what women's basketball can be. Bird sees it. We all see it. So why doesn't the league? Why are they letting small minds run the show while the biggest name since Diana Taurasi is practically begging for backup? If Bird had his way, he'd have already filed the LLC, picked a team name, secured a sponsor, and scheduled a press conference. Call them the Indiana Clarks. Give her a mascot, cheer squad, and a media team that actually knows what they're doing. At this point, it's not even far-fetched. It's just logical. Bird's not about empty promises. He's about action. So when he starts hinting at launching something new, people should pay attention. Because he's done this before. Identified greatness, nurtured it, built systems that elevate it. And Caitlin Clark deserves that. Deserves to be in a structure that appreciates her value instead of treating her like a problem to be solved. So if you're wondering whether this is real, ask yourself this. When was the last time a basketball legend went this hard for a rookie? When was the last time anyone did? He's not waiting for permission. He's laying groundwork. Quietly, but deliberately. The league has a choice. Protect its greatest asset or let someone else do it. And if it's Bird, we're here for it. Every step. Because what he's offering isn't just a team, it's a future. A statement. A new era. So go ahead, league office. Keep dragging your feet. Keep ignoring the numbers, the fans, the chaos. But don't be surprised when Bird shows up with a logo, a staff, and a brand new court that actually lets greatness thrive. Because when basketball stops being about basketball and starts becoming about power plays, clout, and ego, that's when legends like Bird step in. Not to reminisce, but to rebuild. And this time, they might just bring Hollywood buzzing with them. Stay tuned. Because if Clark's future is about to change, you can bet Larry Bird's holding the blueprint.